Thank you for joining us for another edition of Startland News Reports, presented by the Ewing Marion Kauffman Foundation. I'm Austin Barnes. Over the next hour, we'll offer you an inside look at the momentum and milestones of 10 Kansas City startups to watch in 2022. By the end of our show, you'll see why our news team thinks they're in position to make headlines in the year ahead, proving to be some of the Metro's most innovative companies. Before we meet our first group of founders, Startland News Editor-in-Chief Tommy Feltz joins us from our newsroom with a look at how our annual class of startups to watch comes together. Tommy?
Thanks, Austin. Each year, our editorial team reaches out to the community we cover to get a sense of what's new in Kansas City. We talk to everyone from program managers to investors, even community managers at co-working sites like Spark Kansas City, the home of our Power and Light-based newsroom where we're broadcasting from today. We also dive into our stories and notes and check in with founders we've covered throughout the year to get a sense of where they're headed and what their goals are for the new year. From there, we begin screening founders, their responses to a questionnaire that looks at things like funding potential, team growth, even the chance of exit. This year, we started with a list of nearly 300 companies, pared that down to 40, then 20, and ultimately to the 10 you'll hear from today. All of that work results in an 11-piece series sponsored by Hush Blackwell and published on startlandnews.com, which we encourage you to read for a more in-depth look at each company.
Tommy, thank you. That series is live on our website now. So much goes into curating this group each year, and we're excited to share even more of their work with you today. The opportunity to do so is made possible by our sponsors at KC BizCare, Spark Kansas City, and of course the Kauffman Foundation. The support of these companies and organizations keeps our nonprofit newsroom running and led to reporting on more than 500 entrepreneurs, startups, small businesses, and creative and community-focused efforts in 2021. To date, their support, along with other annual sponsors and you at home, has resulted in Startland News reporting generating more than $17.5 million in earned media value for Kansas City-based companies. Our team thanks you for your support, and if you'd like to get involved, you can visit startlandnews.com/donate to learn more. Give a gift of $50 today, and you'll receive one of 3 locally designed t-shirts. You'll get your choice, celebrating local entrepreneurship and innovation. With that, let's meet our first Kansas City startup to watch in 2022.
My name is Channa Johnson, and I am the founder and CEO of Interplay. And at Interplay, we create remote crating experience for dog parents with our product, the Playtouch. The Interplay Playtouch allows pet parents to remotely control their dog's crating experience with the click of a button with our product, the Interplay app.
We're here with Channa Johnson, the founder of Interplay. Channa, the last time we were talking was actually when you were awarded the Block School's Student Entrepreneur of the Year, and now it's Startups to Watch. So at 21, you are our youngest founder to ever be on the list. What is your secret to success?
Well, mine has primarily just been focused, driven, and staying in my lane. I know growing up, my mother always told me that every opportunity is an opportunity. So whenever I'm given any opportunity, whether it's the slightest or largest, I really take advantage of it and try to make the most of it, because I feel I can learn from every situation, and put it in myself to learn from those situations is what's really provided me with success, and also coachability from what I've learned from those situations as well. So.
Definitely, and it sounds like you tap into a lot of the resources and mentors here in Kansas City. So can you speak to some of that?
Yes, definitely. So that's really what I've been able to do, is really access a lot of mentors, get a lot of insight, because being the youngest is nothing new to me at all. Even if anything, when I'm around people my age, I kind of feel awkward or get excited, I guess, slightly, but I'm used to always being around people 2 to 3 times my age. So that's really been something, is to learn from where they went wrong through their journey, and really learning the lessons that they learned and applying them to me, so I don't run into those same obstacles that they had or same failures that they had. So I learned how they overcame them. I was able to apply that directly to my journey. And then in regards to mentorship, my first mentor was assigned through the e-Scholars program at the University of Missouri, Kansas City. So that really was, I guess, the gateway, and it really laid the foundation to my involvement within the entrepreneurial ecosystem here in Kansas City. So that was the opening door, and I guess I walked right through.
Nice. And I know you have a Kickstarter and a launch coming this year in 2022. Can you talk more to those?
So it's coming soon. So I have a Kickstarter coming along with the reveal of our new product design this year. So first we're going to do the product design, then the Kickstarter. So it's going to be a big countdown, a lot of anticipation, and really hoping that our followers and consumers give them a show and an experience along the journey.
Yeah, and I know that you're young, but how does it feel to get to this point? Because it's been a lot of hard work put in to get to there.
It feels good, but I'm not there yet. So I'm trying to enjoy the journey along the way, but also know that I do have a lot more that I'm looking to do and accomplish as I continue to grow and develop Interplay.
Yeah, I know last time we spoke, you said you're going to be the Apple product of the pet tech world.
So. Oh, definitely, and that's still the goal. I really still envision Interplay being the Apple of pet tech products. So I think we're on the way, and I think once we're officially launched with the Kickstarter, that's one of the first major steps in our legacy to come.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much, Channa. It's a pleasure.
I'm Bo Lace, CEO and founder of Lula. And at Lula, we developed a platform that streamlines the maintenance process for property managers and their tenants.
Bo, it's great to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely, great to be here.
Yeah, representing Lula, startups to watch. You've been in business 4 years now, big part of the startup conversation here in Kansas City. Tell us kind of what's on the horizon this year. What's the momentum for Lula?
Yeah, so we're in 8 cities today. We're expanding into another 16 next year. We're just in the exponential growth phase. We're planning on hiring up to 30 employees here over the next 12 months. And really just penetrate this market very deep in the property management segment. So we focus entirely on the maintenance piece in property management. It's one of the biggest challenges that property managers have, especially when you have a portfolio of 50 to 2,000 homes in your portfolio. So we've really figured out that product market fit, our ideal customer segment, and now we're attacking it and ramping up for some extreme growth here over the next year.
Yeah, and obviously this is such a broad question, but can you kind of condense for us kind of what's going on in the industry right now and just how disruptive what you're doing actually is?
Yeah, sure. As I mentioned, maintenance is one of the biggest headaches for property managers. Traditionally, they don't have real-time visibility into the actual work order process. So we developed a platform to really streamline that process for not just the property managers, but for their tenants as well. Not only that, we bring a large network of fully vetted contractors to actually do the work. So, in this industry, the average maintenance tech is about 47 years old. All the baby boomers in the next, 10 to 12 years are going to be retiring. So there's a lack of labor supply. So the fact that we just don't bring, we bring the software to streamline that process, but actually bring a network of pros to complete that work is, there's very few of us in this industry that are doing it, and even fewer that are doing it well. And so that's really where we set ourselves apart. We figured that piece out. We could spin up a new market in about 4 weeks right now.
And for you as a founder, there's not a lot of press releases, there's not a lot of, flashiness going on around Lula. You're very heads down and very focused. Can you tell me if you think that's helped kind of build this momentum and get you to this place where you are, where you're seeing so much
Sure,
success?
I think, headlines can be fun, right? It's fun to announce a new raise. It's even more fun to announce an acquisition, right? And I think that really for us, in 2019 was our last raise that we closed, and we really focused and put our heads down and got to work and said, let's figure this out, right? Where's our ideal customer? Let's find that product market fit. And we did that in 2020. We actually hit profitability. We're profitable today while reaching some exponential growth. So that's really exciting. There's not a lot of early stage startups that raise as little amount of money that we have that have turned profitable in just in hyper growth mode. So we're proud of that.
Especially in such a difficult time, you should be proud of that.
Yeah.
So it's been great to watch so far. We're excited to watch over the next year. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, appreciate the invite. Thank you.
My name is Wyatt Cobb. I'm the founder of Soft Warfare, and we build authentication and integration solutions for large corporations and government agencies.
I'm with Wyatt Cobb, who is with Soft Warfare. Thank you for joining us. So the first thing I'm kind of wondering, I think everyone will want to know, is what are any surprises or any challenges you expect for the company this year?
Every new year brings some new opportunity, but we've spent the last 12 months working very hard on our product platform, and we expect it to be a breakout year for us here in 22.
What is Soft Warfare adding to the needs of cybersecurity?
Great question, Blythe. Soft Warfare, we're a passwordless MFA company. So we've reimagined workforce authentication to allow corporations, small and large, to evaluate how they're currently authenticating identities into their network infrastructure. And what we do is we try to take all the good things about their current identity strategy, weld them together with secure integration and add a biometric multi-factor authentication platform on top of that, and become their next generation methodology for workforce authentication.
And so what should people know about cybersecurity? Like, if they don't know about it, how do you describe what cybersecurity is?
Cybersecurity on the whole is controlling access to and from network systems. And so, securing the internet is obviously something that is much harder than most people ever imagine. The internet was built to be open, and so I think as we've seen in the last 12 months, the largest cyber infiltrations in our nation's history and mostly globally, securing authentication and integrations within software-defined networking and systems that corporations are running on is very important. And so a lot of investment and continued diligence to properly engineer those systems is going to be key to the success of any business going forward.
And then what were any highlights from 2021? Did you have any really profound memories or any good things that have accomplished last year?
Absolutely. 2021 obviously brought many, many challenges for our nation on the whole and all the organizations doing business within the nation. So for us, we've partnered heavily in DC and also Silicon Valley to try to bring the next generation of secure workforce authentication to companies. And so this year we've spent a lot of our time getting our product right within our existing customer base, making sure it's meeting their needs today, helping them meet both regulatory compliance needs as well as increasing the security within their corporation. And from there, those accomplishments we believe will become the base for us to build our enterprise software company out of Kansas City.
And are you looking forward to anything in 2022? Any goals, things you want to accomplish?
I think, in general, we're all looking forward to things maybe leveling out a little bit more, some of the dust settling from the past 18 months and getting back to doing business within the cybersecurity industry that we knew over the last 20 years. This day and age, it's very much the forethought of any corporation. It's on the cover of most newspapers, but I think as things level out and new strategies take hold, it will get back a little bit to more business as usual.
Technology is such an important thing, especially being in such a tech world in Kansas City, and I'm sure the audience is really excited to get to know more about software and learn more about cybersecurity.
My name is Shekhar Gupta, and I'm founder and CEO of MyAnimal. In MyAnimal, we're developing early disease prediction solution for animals using AI, where we look at a picture of a face and a muzzle, and the system is then able to predict whether that animal is going to get sick. This helps to reduce the disease spread, lowers the treatment cost, and increases the revenue.
We're here with Shekhar Gupta. Shekhar, you are the founder of MyAnimal. Could you tell us a little bit about MyAnimal?
Yeah, so at MyAnimal, we're developing AI-powered early disease prediction solution for the animals. We're starting out with cows, where we look at a cow's face and a muzzle, and the system then predicts if a cow is going to get sick and with what disease the cow is going to get sick. That helps to reduce the disease spread, treatment cost, and deaths in the cows, as well as increase the revenue for the cattle owners.
And then where does your interest and passion for the bovine industry spark from?
Yeah, so technology. I mean, I've been in this industry for over 20 years or so, and I've been doing this technology ever since the very beginning of each technology coming in. And I've always believed that technology can solve many of today's issues and problems. I mean, think back in early 90s, nobody would have thought that Ford Motor Company would become a software development company, or that Internet of Things would help a farmer plan their watering needs back in 90s. And nobody even knew what IoTs were back then either. But now we have technology in every aspect of our lives. And so why not in livestock industry, where it impacts us as a human being a lot more than any of the other industries do. I mean, we eat some sort of a product, a byproduct of this industry. So let's figure out a way to solve the crisis that's going on right now.
And you're developing some state-of-the-art technology that's never been done before, but you actually proved it last year in July of 2021.
Yeah, so the company that I'm developing, the solution that I'm developing, it's not based on any research. So when I go out and talk with people, and started talking to people back then, and everybody was like, well, no, this is not gonna work. we've never heard of anything like that. So in July, we were able to prove, looking at the picture of a cow, what cow is going to get sick. And we were able to provide about a 2-day early notification to the owner.
What is the process like of developing such advanced technology?
Yeah, so a picture is taken, and then once a picture is taken, then it's fed into our AI system, where the system then analyzes the face and the muzzle. And we had to develop the AI algorithms ourselves as well, because there was no such thing else out there that we could borrow, steal, or whatever. So we had to develop this AI algorithm ourselves. So first we trained the system with lots of healthy cows, what that looks like, lots of sick cows, what that looks like. And then once we were able to train the system, then the system would know if a picture is being fed into it, what is the likely outcome of it.
Right. And then from Techstars to pitching all over the city, you've had a big year in 2021. How are you going to use that momentum going forward into this new year?
Oh, I'm very much excited about it. I mean, we've got a couple trials going on with some major universities as well. And then we closed on to our first customer on November 1st that we provided services to. 21 was a launching a time frame for us. 22 would be really getting up to the moon and beyond.
Awesome. Thank you, Shaker, for joining us today, and congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
I'm Chris Hogue, founder of VinQ.
My name's Danny Zaslowski, and I'm the managing partner of VinQ. VinQ creates an end-to-end solution for car dealerships so that they can appraise and merchandise and get all the relevant insights they need to be competitive in today's market, all in an end-to-end solution.
Welcome, guys. Pleased to have you here for Startups to Watch. This summer we sat down for a little bit and you guys told me a little about your dashboard and kind of things you were doing to help with some challenges that people were seeing within the supply chain. What can you guys tell me about how VinQ is kind of uniquely positioned in that industry?
Dealers for a long time have been helping their communities and their customers get cars, right? Get transportation. But a problem that we solve is we bring all the private sellers to a system where dealers can then make competitive offers to consumers, and so that both parties win. And what we're all looking for is a frictionless experience, and so that's what we're bridging that technology gap with.
When you two both kind of bring some unique experience to the team, what can you tell me about your individual backgrounds that have made VinQ stronger?
I'm a data guy by my background. I've got experience like at Billboard Magazine, Nielsen. So both of those companies kind of leverage large amounts of data into actionable business insights. So that's the part that I bring. And then Danny is our business solution, idea creation engine. And so that's kind of where this whole buying center concept came together, is him revealing needs, some solutions that he'd done kind of duct tape style, and then our team on the technical side wrapping that in some good technology.
We're looking forward into this year, 2022. So tell us about some of the momentum that you saw in 21.
You know, we sell cars at Country Home Motors here locally in Kansas City, and so we saw the ramp up of supply of need, and so supply had to follow, right? And so in creating the technology to get consumers to start selling cars to dealers, not just locally but nationally, has really helped dealers get that inventory so that they could start filling the needs of the consumer. And so we've been able to bring on a lot of dealers and learning not just the technology piece, but also the process of how to build up a buying center internally, how to hire the right people, how to have the right communications. All that is part of the puzzle.
And you've had quite a bit of team growth recently too, right?
Yeah, we have. We've doubled in the past 10 months, I would say. So prior to 21, we were a market pricing engine and inventory management. And so the agility of our technical team combined with Danny's ideas, we're able to pivot about a year ago and launch this new product line, which in itself is really powerful, but it also helps sell our core product line.
And what are you excited about looking into 22?
We want to execute, so we've got great momentum right now. There's a lot of challenges as far as finding talent to support our customer base. 22 is going to be a great year as far as acquiring new business, and our challenge is going to be holding that and providing a good level of service.
So we look forward to seeing what you guys roll out in the next 12 months.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Uncommon. Uncommon. Extraordinary, non-standard. Uncommon is the upside down of boring. Uncommon is the opposite of unexamined. Uncommon is, well, uncommon. But what does it take to trip up the typical? Refuse the usual, confuse conventional. How do you be uncommon? Uncommon tries. Uncommon comes together. Uncommon starts something. So whatever you're dreaming, now is the time for uncommon. And we believe uncommon is you.
Hi, I'm Sarah Allen Preston. I'm the CEO and founder of Afloat, and Afloat connects users with local businesses for same-day curated gifting.
Sarah from Afloat, thank you for joining us virtually today.
It's so nice to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, a big congratulations. In a couple years of the pandemic, you've really leaned into connection and community, which is a bit harder to do. So could you explain how you did that through Afloat in a pandemic?
We had a really funny kind of circumstance, obviously everyone did, in March of 2020. We launched our first iteration of the app, which was all about connection and community. And we really, though, through that found, because of everything that had happened in the world, how important of a value that was to people. So we knew we had kind of tapped into this desire of people to feel connection and feel a part of community. We didn't really have any actionable process on the app for them at that point. It was just kind of like being connected and the mission and the, like I said, the ethos of getting connected, supporting people, celebrating people. So as we, spent the year in the pandemic being like, okay, how do we make this, actionable for our users, we began including local businesses. And that tapped into a whole nother side of community that people really use on the daily to celebrate and support the people they love. So as we watched the product kind of just organically grow through this very strange time, we realized there was a huge need for people to not only their want to be connected to people in their community and their communities at large, but also to be able to celebrate and support them by bringing in gifting, which really is, sending love, showing that celebration and support. And people love using local businesses for that. It's that extra layer kind of that brings the whole thing full circle. So it was a weird year for us to launch, but really helped us, I would say, in a way. It was a massive silver lining, helped us define where we were going and what we wanted to do. So, yeah.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, local business support was so important during the pandemic.
Yes.
So then also in 2021, you completed Techstars. Could you talk about some of the things you learned in that process that you're going to take into 2022?
So like I said, we really kind of added our local businesses in at the end of 2020. It was when we, had done enough kind of feedback and talking to our current users to get our product market fit established. And so we entered 2021 knowing that we needed to really, get focused and build the business around that. We had the opportunity to go through Techstars. It was a fantastic program. We loved our network there. Speaking of community, it was just really, really great. So special to have that in Kansas City. And we got super laser focused on not only our go-to-market strategy, but product. We found some great people to work with. So the whole experience was really positive.
Right, and just at the end of 2021, you had the soft launch of the Afloat app. So can you tease when that hard launch will be coming?
So we did our soft launch in Kansas City in December, and we are excited to launch next month in February.
Congratulations. I know you also expanded the business down to Dallas. Do you have future plans of like continual expansion?
For sure. So we also had our soft launch in Dallas, and it's been so well received down here so far. We are so excited. Our team, like I said, going through Techstars, we got really, really focused and prescriptive on our growth. And so had a great experience in Dallas in December, and we look forward to adding new markets throughout 2022.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Sarah.
Thanks.
My name is David, CEO and founder of Particle Space. At Particle Space, we are creating the prop tech infrastructure for the internet. We make it really easy to build real estate technology through pre-created API services.
David, you're with Particle Space. Thank you for being here.
Appreciate it. Happy to be here.
Well, you've had a big 2021, so now that we're into 2022, I want to talk a little bit about kind of where Particle Space is positioned, where you're heading. 2021, we saw some funding, we saw some team growth. Tell me how you carry that momentum throughout this new year.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So with the funding that we secured, we hired 4 additional team members in our team. So we're finishing this year out, building some new products that we're excited to take into 2022, which is essentially going to allow us to position ourselves as a business to become the backbone for the real estate internet. For us, looking at 2022, that is a time for us to work on scaling and bringing on new businesses and really helping companies that are building technology in the real estate industry to build their own technology faster.
How do you get to that kind of position where you realize that this is kind of what you want your focus to be moving into the new year? Tell me just sort of how you got to that place.
Yeah, so we made a pretty big pivot in July after we finished our fundraising. We were originally focused on having a property management platform and making it easy to collect rent and stuff like that. And as we went along that journey, we realized that there was just a lot of competition and it was very noisy. And we were growing. We have over 300 property managers that are using the product. But really we saw this need and this idea popped up of, hey, what if we could take all the technology that we've built and expose it so that what would be competitors can now be our customers? And that idea started morphing into like, okay, there really aren't any players that are providing these API services that allow people that are building technology in the real estate industry to quickly build. When we started on that journey, we started getting demos left and right. When we started doing a little bit of discovery on this, of course, that was a big part of our fundraising and our reshifting. And so far, it's been the right direction.
Well, it definitely just sounds like there's so much opportunity before you in the new year. Can you tell me, is there kind of like one big standout thing that you're really hoping to accomplish when we reach this point next year and you're looking back on 2022?
Yeah, I think one of the things is doubling our headcount, going to 10 to 15 employees here in the area, KC. And then I would say also another factor is we're wanting to power over 100 startup companies that are building their own real estate companies.
Awesome. And that's sort of in line with, I know you have sort of a commitment to education and STEM and computer science and students. How might we see that play out this year?
Yeah, so we are always bringing on interns. So we have 2 interns starting for the winter. So having interns is an aspect of how we see us contributing and helping people and contributing back to the STEM industry. But then we plan on doing like hackathons. So since we're kind of creating these API services that allow people to build real estate products, One of the things we plan on doing is working with local universities in the area and even around the country to have like small hackathons and have them use our API services to build real estate products and sponsor in some form or fashion. And as another aspect of, hey, helping us get usage in our services, but also get feedback for improving, but then also giving back and, you know, giving people a challenge and helping people learn as well. So.
Every time we've talked with you, that commitment to innovation always sort of rings true with you, and it definitely sounds like that's, again, where Particle Space is headed, where you're headed in this new year. So David, thank you for being here, and we're excited to watch it all play out this year.
Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it.
My name is Jaquan Heron, and I'm the founder of Venbu. Venbu is a tech platform that allows small businesses to turn their passion into a strategic business. With Venbu, you're able to locate and book vending opportunities, receive notification of those events, but most importantly, upload your receipts and track your expenses so you can strategically sell.
Welcome, Jay.
Thank you.
I think we first talked probably 3.5 years ago at a bookstore on the plaza.
Yes.
Talking about your comic book back then.
Yes.
Tell me about how Venbu kind of evolved from comic book world.
So while I was looking for different Comic Cons and different markets to sell the Scarlet Knight with 2923 Comics, shameless plug, I just noticed that it was not a streamlined process to do it. So what I would do, I would work all day, work 12-hour shifts, but then when I would come home and try to search for them, it would get tiring, right? And then I would try to combine resources with other comic book creators, and sometimes, you know, that could be a very dog-eat-dog world, right? So from there, I just kind of birthed the idea saying, hey, it needs to be a better process of doing this. And it needs to be convenient, and it needs to be very easy for the user, which is the vendor. And then to have an abundance of different events that they can do, not just maybe 1 or 2 in their city, but maybe something in Los Angeles or Nebraska. If you're going down there for a wedding, you can go attend that as well. So I just literally just laid there in the bed one night and just said, hey, maybe I should create an app. And Birth of Venbu is right there.
When you have a co-founder, what kind of background and experience does he bring to Venbu?
Yes, so Rodney is an excellent salesman. He worked for the family business, made over $3 million in the first year. And he also was a national debate champion in high school. So I knew that he was able to not only pitch with me, but also sell. So I'm very appreciative of Rodney.
No, it's hard to believe it's already 2022, but maybe take a look back at the last 12 months. Tell us some milestones that Venbu's hit.
Yes, so we were able to, of course, get funded and go into beta this summer, which has been great. We had about 30 events that were on our platform. The app did exactly what it was supposed to do. I was actually happy that happened, but I was also scared. Also, we have joined different cohorts, such as Pure Pitch Rally. We were able to get funded $11,000. We also pitched at an event called Canadian Wealth, another $5,000. And just to have Venbu in the community, building partnerships with different entities, such as like Raytown Farmers Market, where this was the first year that they've brought it back in years, to have them on the platform. Also to hire event specialists, individuals who would be in the community and bring these events on. Venbu has made a lot of great strides.
And what does 2022 look like as you head into the new year?
Yes, we're going to scale into different markets. So right now with those event specialists that I just spoke of, we are preparing for our second orientation here in January. With that being said, these individuals will go into these different markets such as Los Angeles, New York City, Chicago, Dallas, and be able to place Venbu in these communities. So not only will we go from being a small-time Midwest app, we will be nationwide. And I wanted us to be a culture changer, just like Lyft or Uber or Airbnb. And we're looking to also gain a lot more funding. We're going into our first seed round here in the first quarter. We have our first proposal on the table currently right now. We're working with Sheila Sheck and getting that all together right now.
Well, you mentioned Pure Pitch Rally. Also, I think Venture Noir is probably a validation point.
Yes.
But what does your son think about Venbu and the work that you've been doing?
I've been blessed to be able to show my son what entrepreneurship is, right? And show him what he understands, which is technology. I remember taking him to my first con, which was Planet Comic Con, and to see him want to be behind that table and help his dad sell. But now, for him to say, Dad, you got Venbu work to do, like, yes. Because this is his legacy. One day he might wake up and say, hey, I'll take that on, and I want to grow this and continue to grow this. And then if anyone knows, my son is also a DJ. So when he goes and DJs, he uses his own money. He goes and buys his own equipment with the money that he makes. And I want to show him that now, rather than when he becomes 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, or not learn it on his own. And I want him to get rid of those pain points early.
Well, I appreciate you telling us more about Venbu, and we look forward to sharing more with the audience.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Andrew Potter.
And I'm Luke Lim.
And we're the founders of Approach.
Approach is a CRM and point of sale focused on the fitness industry. And here we are today at one of our client sites, and Approach manages the day-to-day operations for this facility.
I'm going to give you both equal time to speak, kind of share your thoughts on 2022, but here we are, a new year, startups to watch. Tell me why what you're doing is changing Kansas City.
For me, you know, we're a local Kansas City company. We both have been here for years. We started this here. Luke and I met as friends here, and so as founders that are from here and want to continue to cultivate and build a team that's here, I think that's important. I also know that like our product is something that there's many versions out there that have been built, many different point of sale and client relationship management products for a lot of industries that we're and markets that we're entering. But one of the things that's really special about us is we're really building kind of sustainable, affordable products that give small businesses access to the tools that your Fortune 500 companies use that spend a lot of money on like large integrations. And we're making those tools accessible for the small business owner that maybe can't leverage the same things that those big companies do. And I think that makes us special from the perspective of like our mission to serve small businesses across the world, and that we're doing it right here in Kansas City and not, you know, in San Francisco or LA or Austin, one of those hubs. And so, yeah, part of our goal is to put Kansas City on the map for a company that can do that. So.
You know, Andrew kind of hit on it, but we founded this company with the mission to help small and medium businesses succeed. You know, before we started, I was in big corporate, and I just felt like that's a really important mission, because when you look at what happened in 2020, and you see small businesses getting smashed all over the place, it was actually it was a struggle bus for us too. And we've really rebounded this year. We've seen our clients rebound, and we are really psyched. We're really pumped for 2022 because we feel like we're gaining so much momentum in clients, in our product, what we're doing. And we truly believe that the third of the economy, which is with small business and medium business, is really what brings the culture, the flavor, of life in our country, your neighborhoods. That's what makes things special, and that is our mission, to make that 1/3 grow, succeed, and become even better. And our focus right now is fitness and climbing, but that is our overall mission.
And so 2021 saw some funding, great news of that nature. So now that we're into the new year, it sounds like maybe some scaling is kind of on the horizon. Or tell me what are the, I guess, big dots for the year? What should people be keeping their eyes on?
Yeah, we've really scaled organically. We haven't put any money into marketing. And our focus has been to build a great product and then really take care of every client we have. And then get our products really well past MVP, but get our product to closer to an enterprise solution. And aside from the product, build our team and our company to a place that when we are ready for scale, so is our team. The last thing we wanted to do is go into 2022, have this incredible product that we've built, and then go to market it, start having 50 inquiries a month for companies that want to onboard, and our team can't handle it. So our goal right now is really to build a great structure within our team so that when we look to truly scale in 2022, You know, our team is prepared for it. The technology is stable and prepared for it. So right now, focus through the end of the year is just continue to serve the current clients we have, grow organically as we are, and then, you know, into second quarter next year, push into a larger marketing push. So both the technology, our team, et cetera, are all prepared for that growth.
Well, we're excited to watch it play out, and we thank you both for being here and sharing more about your year ahead. It sounds like it's going to be an interesting one to watch for sure.
My name is Heidi Lehman. I am the co-founder and president of Kenzen. Kenzen is a safety technology. We are the premier physiological monitoring platform to keep workforces safe from heat, fatigue, and overexertion on the job.
You have one of your devices here with you today. Can you explain what that is and show?
Yeah, so this is the device. What Kenzen is building is a safety technology. We're part of the Industrial Internet of Things, connected worker platform. What we focus on specifically is physiology. So this is keeping workforces safe from things like heat, fatigue, overexertion on the job. We have a specific emphasis on heat. So this is the front end of a platform that is used by worker safety manager and then corporate EHS, corporate industrial safety, hygiene, and protection. So the worker wears it here on their arm. It samples their physiology every 5 seconds. It collects tens of thousands of data points per worker per shift. Those are used to alert the worker of an impending heat injury, so it will vibrate on their arm. Safety manager has a dashboard, so they'll see if a worker's gotten an alert, but perhaps they haven't stopped, slowed down on the job. And then corporate EHS analyzes all that data retrospectively to make sure the site is more safe and productive in the future.
Really interesting. So what were some of the highlights from the past year that you had?
Well, I think from the past year, we really hit scale this year. So prior, we had really just done, small deployments, proof of concepts. Now we're definitely in the mid stage of commercialization. So we had about 2,000 devices in the field. And we've really deployed across the globe at this point in multiple industries. So I'd say we have the most experience with construction and with mining, but we've also deployed to manufacturing, renewable energy, oil and gas. And though we've done the most deployments in North America, so in Kansas City we even have some customers, which is very exciting, we have a real emphasis in Japan and Australia and South Africa as well. So we really got a sense of scaled rollouts.
I saw you received a Reader's Choice Award also. Is that another highlight for you?
Absolutely, it's a highlight. So being recognized by our peers in Kansas City, so investors, startups, especially with the space we're in, we really feel there's a very elevated sense of Kansas City owning the industrial Internet of Things or industrial tech space. So I think being recognized within that ecosystem, huge honor.
And how has the pandemic affected the situation for you?
I mean, I think we feel like we're kind of crawling out of the pandemic this year, but last year a couple of things. Because we're focused on physiology and core body temperature in particular, so core body temperature is the leading indicator of heat injury on a site, but it can also show if somebody may be presenting fever. So I think that while we couldn't get on a lot of the work sites that we might have wanted to do a lot of the pilots, we were given exception because of the focus on core body temperature to be able to assist with kind of pandemic proofing some work sites. And I think also because we're deploying across the globe, one thing we like to do is go to a site in person. Well, the pandemic, we couldn't do that. We couldn't get to Japan, we couldn't get to South Africa. So we figured out how to deploy remotely and kind of train the trainer abroad, which has helped us scale with a small team. So I think, like most small companies, the pandemic kind of presented this situation where were you going to make it or were you not going to make it, and we were able to, so we were very fortunate.
Sure, and then quickly, is there anything that you want to say about this year that you're expecting?
So our emphasis right now is heat injury and illness on sites, and it's really become a problem to the extent that there's actually going to be rules around workforces and heat on site. So there's an emphasis at the federal level. Biden's putting some heat rules in effect, and then OSHA's going to translate those into regulations. So it really moves us in the category of prevention to requirements and gives us a real opportunity to help work sites see Are their workers acclimatized? What is their risk profile? So they can really protect the workforce, but also be in line with these pending rules that are going to be in effect. So it should be a big opportunity for us to really extend safety to workforces everywhere.
It looks like the city has a lot to look forward to with this company. And thanks for being here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Welcome to KC BizCare. We help business owners with a variety of resources, anywhere from starting your business to applying for permits and everything in between. Our website is now an easy, user-friendly, virtual one-stop shop for doing business in Kansas City. Click the quick links to learn how to start a business or request for zoning clearance. We will even create a customized and interactive list, walking you through each step to starting your business. Because at KC BizCare, we truly care about you and your future Kansas City business. Check us out at bizcare.kcmo.gov.
That does it for this edition of Startland News Reports. Thank you again to the Kauffman Foundation, Spark Kansas City, KC BizCare, and the people within those organizations who made today's broadcast and the Kansas City Startups to Watch series possible. We also thank all of you for watching and joining us and supporting Startland News. We look forward to sharing your stories or giving you more to read, watch, and listen to throughout the year. Until we meet again, we hope you stay safe and healthy, and as always, you can visit startlandnews.com 24/7 for more bold, untold stories of entrepreneurship and innovation starting right here in the nation's heartland.